It's our community, and I'm Mary Davidson. We have, should I say 2 retired ladies? That's not right. 2 retired ladies is a wrong thing to say. They thought they were retired ladies. Right. They thought they were. Right. And they are Marilyn Ware and Carolyn Bowles. And I am, and I'm sure everybody else is out there, so I can say we are delighted to have you today on It's Our Community.
Thank you.
And as you may have guessed, Marilyn and Carolyn make purses, and they are the owners of Wear a Flower. And I could say handbags, but it's more than that, really, and we'll talk about that. But Wear a Flower makes everybody feel better. How'd you get started in this, wearing flowers? Oh, I mean, I thought, you know, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? I thought we were growing a garden when you came in, because and you have flowers and the purses have flowers. So how did you get started?
Oh, for years, if I just had sort of a dull outfit, you know, you could always pop on a flower and it just kind of brightened up an outfit. And so, I don't know, I don't pay much attention to whether they're in style or out of style. I've always just kind of liked flowers. And
well, I don't think anything's out of style that makes you feel better.
That's true. That's true.
Well, and when you worked, you had people at work that would call you and say, Marilyn, wear a flower for me today.
Well, I did. I would have one on at work, and I worked with a delightful girl, and that is all in our story that comes in our bag, and she just saw something wonderful in everybody, and occasionally I'd wear a flower, and she'd say, those flowers just make me happy when you wear them. And from time to time, she'd call me at home and say, I'm feeling kind of down today. Would you wear a flower for me? And I just thought that was the cutest thing. And that was back in 1980. And I only worked with her for a couple of years. But over the years, I would, if I had a friend that was facing a difficult situation or something, I might call them and say, I'm going to be wearing a flower for you tomorrow. And it just kind of made me feel better, and they probably had no idea what I was talking about. But
does that woman that you worked with, does she have any idea?
You know, she does, and I had lost contact with her, and that's been 30 years ago. And I have discovered her. In fact, she is in Portland, Oregon, and she visited me about 2 weeks ago. She still has parents here in town.
Well, I hope she has a Wear a Flower bag.
Oh, she does.
Well, not only that, but another job that Marilyn had, one of the co-workers had surgery and had to have chemo and everything. And so when it was time for her to come back to work, the day that she was due back at the store, in the department, Marilyn took flowers, red flowers, for everyone to wear to welcome her back.
And I pinned them on everybody in the store and said, Katie's coming back. We're all wearing red flowers for Katie today. So
and it makes one's soul smile.
Yes,
sure,
exactly.
Sure,
exactly.
Sure. I do.
And that's kind of what we think about our handbags. We just hope they make somebody kind of smile.
You know, I can speak from experience as well that retirement just isn't much fun.
Right. No.
So you were both retired. So what possessed you to do this?
We are
Sometimes
country girls. We're working country girls.
We came from a long line of working women, actually. So
well, you're like me. You don't know how to do anything else.
We're happiest when we're working.
That's true.
So why purses? Why wear a flower? I mean, how did you get started?
It all just sort of fell in our lap. We always say it's a God thing. We did not think, oh, we're going to get in the purse business and start making purses. We had no intention of doing that. I actually had a little decorating business, and I had some zebra left over from a job I had done, and I thought, I'm going to make a handy little purse that I can find things in. And so I made one like that, the zebra with a red flower. That was the first one I made.
And this is your signature.
That's a signature. Yes. That's our signature bag. And every place I would go and carry that, I just couldn't believe the reaction. So the second one I made for a silent auction, a fundraiser. And it was a fashion show, and Mark Shales happened to be doing the fashion show. And she came up to me after the show and she said, did you do that handbag? We want you to come down to our store the week before Christmas and bring your handbags and do a trunk showing. I said, I have no handbag.
This is it.
What handbag?
This is
And that's
it.
where my sister comes into the picture.
That night she called me and she said, Carolyn, can you help me make purses? And I've been doing it ever since.
the rest
you
is
said,
history.
oh, sure.
Sure, we
And-
can do
and,
that.
you know, we
That's
actually,
what I told her.
in my little design business, I actually have some people that do upholstery and window treatments and that sort of thing. And so I thought, well, I'll have them. They have industrial equipment.
Yeah, because it has to be sort of stick together.
That's
Yes.
right. But we are kind of stickler for details. We're kind of crabby and cranky and fussy. And we just weren't pleased with what they looked like. And so it is back in our laps. The two of us do it.
It's just hard to get this bottom perfectly when you're doing a round piece of
Okay.
fabric,
Okay,
and to get that fit on the square
See there?
without puckering.
Well, and see, and I think you can see,
Get a nice
and they
smooth
have
fit.
little
Feet.
feet on them, so that you can lay them down and they don't get so dirty
That's
on
right.
the floor.
Set them down. They stay nice
So
and clean.
the big deal is to get that square in there
Yes.
correctly.
Without puckers
Without
and gathers.
puckering, just
No
so that-
puckers.
Just,
No
just
puckers.
so they're neat. We wanted them neat and crisp and tidy looking.
But that's
and,
why people buy them.
I think so. So we're our biggest critics.
So how many purses did they want yesterday?
Yes. Only 12 or 15.
She said if
they
you could just do 12 or 15.
And you had none.
That would be. I had none. I
the
had
one she was
none.
carrying and the one in the
I had
auction.
How did
none.
you, and how long did you have to do that?
Well, I think
That
we
was
had
October,
We had
wasn't it?
we had maybe 4 weeks or so, 4 or 5 weeks.
Well, you could do that.
sure, that's doable.
So
But
you
we
went-
made different fabrics. We had different flowers and things. So we put 15 together.
So we had to go on a shopping trip first and
We
get
kind
this.
of did.
purchase
We
them.
kind of did.
Mhm.
But so that was our start. That's how we got started. We had no intention of getting in that business.
So
so
your
then we
first big
needed to
sale.
come up with our story. We needed to get printing
Well,
done.
and I think I need to pull this box out because
Marilyn signed the box.
Marilyn signs the box and it says, where is that?
Wear a
thing?
flower for
Wear
me.
a flower for me.
For me.
And the bottom, in the bottoms of each purse, she signs before we put the.
Well, and in each purse is the story of Wear a Flower.
Uh-huh.
That's
And you know, in that signature, I've written that so many times, I have lots of time to think about it, but that wear a flower for me, so often it's very difficult for any of us to ask anybody to do anything for us. It's so much easier for us to do things for people.
It is. It
And
is.
I thought, you know, wouldn't it be nice if when we needed somebody to wear a flower, we could say, wear a flower for me, or do something for me when you really need help.
So Hall's was your first big sale.
No, it was Mark
Mark
Shales.
Shales.
Mark Shales.
Mark
Mark
Shales
Shales.
Took
was our
15
first.
and sold all 15, and it was an icy
Were you surprised?
weekend.
Oh, we were very, well, I was floored that they wanted us to come in the first place. And it was like, wow. And then we had a big showing at Nell Hills and did very well there.
Well, she sells a lot of things.
She sells a lot of things.
yeah.
This
Well,
was in-
actually, we were going to do it in the lunchroom for the employees. That's what they had invited us for. And when we got there with about 20 bags, you know, we said, well, where's the lunchroom? Where do you want them set up? And well, why don't you just put them here by the cash register
the
on the end of the
customers-
counter? So.
Well,
We
it
did
brings me to say that at some point right about there, you thought to yourself, we got to get organized here because we've got a business going. I mean, it must have dawned on you that this is okay.
Yeah.
we just kind of did it one step at a time. I think we didn't, maybe if we just jumped in and thought we need to do this, that probably would have been overwhelming to us. We don't like stress, really.
We would have
so
panicked, wouldn't we?
we would have panicked. So just sort of one little thing at a time to get our trademark.
But you had to get organized.
We did have to get organized, but
Buy
we're pretty
our
organized
printed
people.
material. We wanted all of the old tags. They're all made in the USA. The tags.
And I
say-
think that's important to because
Made
a
in-
lot of people are interested in buying products that are made in this country.
Well, we have just gotten to the point where we're actually seeking maybe advice from manufacturers. And Carolyn's just been in contact with one, and they send it to China. And it's like, that's not us. We don't do China. We want it here.
I think that's wonderful.
And so
I do.
we've
Did you ever decide you never had a business plan then?
No.
No. No.
No, just stumble along one day at a time.
I just think that's wonderful.
Everything just falls in our lap. That's the reason we always say it's
No,
a
it
God
doesn't.
thing.
I don't believe
It's
no,
a
I
God
don't believe
thing.
it.
It just
It is.
everything
Well,
comes to us.
You know what they say, you have to pray like everything depended on God and work like everything depended on you.
Well, you do. You're right,
And
Mary.
I think you have worked hard.
We have worked hard, and we're fussy.
I mean, you have your
We're-
own sweatshop.
We do.
We just, each one of us bought a new machine about 2 weeks ago. We
And
bought,
do you have a commercial machine?
well,
No, we did not up to this point.
it's a professional machine is what
Yeah,
it's
because
called
now you are professional.
We are
professional machine.
So now
And it
we're really in business now.
It does sew a lot better than our little
Home.
$200 ones that we
Does it, how does it make you feel? I mean, when you buy a professional machine, you are, as you say, you're in business. How does that
Scary.
You know,
Scary?
I guess I
Scary.
still don't think about us really being in business. I think of it more as a hobby. I still kind of think of it as a hobby.
Well, when you haul all these purses in, I would say it's more than just a hobby.
We're workers, you know. We're always working. We're workers. I guess we're professional workers now.
I guess so.
You're in business.
We're in business.
We're in business.
Well, you have to order your materials. How do you decide? I mean, all of these are different. And yet, you know, there is some theme that runs through them. But how do you decide what kind of materials that you're going to want? Texture, color, what do you look at?
Well, we each shop. We each do our own shopping. I shop in this area, in the Leawood area, and Marilyn shops in the Independence area, and then we talk about what we have. Other than when we get low on zebra, why it's time to buy more zebra.
Zebra
Zebra's
goes
the
on,
big
goes
deal.
on and
Yes.
on. A lot of the other fabrics, and we like upholstery
See,
fabrics.
because I'm going to turn this so they can. This is an upholstery fabric.
That's an
upholstery.
upholstery fabric.
And I always think Carolyn kind of tends to do
That.
a little more patterns, tapestry.
The tapestry down
And this
here.
is a pretty tapestry. I tend to do more solid colors, the zebra. Those are,
Okay, there's the. Now, this is an upholstery fabric.
that's
It
an
is.
upholstery
It is.
fabric.
Yeah, I
So,
just think. And then, of course, the flower is.
so
Coordinated.
we both have a little bit different styles, but then
We
we
have
have
different
different
tastes, too.
customers.
We
have
do.
different customers
We do.
too.
But what I'm noticing is the theme that runs through this is that all of them, well, I see one that doesn't, the blue one down there, but all of them have a texture of some sort.
A texture.
Yeah.
They do. We kind of like
Even
the
if
texture.
even if it's like this one,
Right,
Because
right.
this one is black on black. I mean, it's hard to see, but this one, and they all pop.
That's
We
what
like
Marilyn
that.
said.
And that's why I like the black, I think, because the flowers
It
really
always
pop.
pops.
Mary,
We-
this one, the silk is not textured, but the silk has been popular. We did a beige and black silk that was
Plaid.
very popular, a plaid.
And then we always kind of have requests. I don't have to tell you what this request is, do
The
I?
ladies with the red hats.
Yes.
We had a request for that. I said, I don't think I can do that, but Carolyn thought she could, so
And
she's
then there's
done
the blue
I
with the
found out something
red.
about them too, because if they wear purple, that they're just new members.
Is that right?
Oh, is
I
that
didn't
it?
know that.
And then the red, they are the older members.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't
I
know
didn't
that
know that
either.
I did
either.
not know that.
And we do some that are like school colors, KU colors, MU colors.
So you could do an order if somebody wanted to do
We
that.
do. We do. we are very careful about infringing on anyone's logos or
Yeah.
anything like that, but we do colors.
Now, the other thing that I'm noticing is that all these bags are exactly the same size.
Exactly.
They have a 7-inch square.
That's
bottom.
correct.
Now, my problem is that my purse is either too small or too large, and I never can find one that's just right. How did you decide on this size?
Well, I years ago when I carried the great big saddlebag purses, and I could never find
Well,
anything
then you start
in
going
those.
down the street with one shoulder lower
Exactly.
than the other one.
Plus, I dig and dig and could never find
No, I
anything. And
got
so
one.
I actually brought it with me today, but I probably won't show it to you. But I took the bottom out of a gallon milk jug, cut the plastic bottom out and kind of lined it and made pockets, and I would put that in my saddle bag, and I could organize in that, and I'd move from this bag to that bag. And so it was just kind of a nice size. Everything I carried, you know, a wallet, checkbook,
You just
address
lifted
book
up the milk
would
bottle.
fit in there, and it was kind of like a little file cabinet. So that was sort of the basis. These are a little bit larger.
Yeah, I was going to say these are bigger than that.
Maybe just a little bit larger. We didn't want them too large because when you carry them, they're knock around on your hips. So we just decided this was a nice little size.
Well, it is, and it's square rather than round.
Exactly. And it's amazing how much they hold. People are always surprised at how
And
much
you
they
can
can
see
get in
it
them.
when you open it.
Now, you don't
open
make
it up.
wallets, billfolds.
No.
We don't. We haven't gotten into that yet. We've had requests.
Well, it's a thought.
It is a thought.
People have asked for longer handled shoulder straps too, and this just isn't a design
Doesn't lend
for shoulder.
itself well.
Marilyn says you carry them like a little shopping bag. You know, they fit perfectly on your arm, or just like a little shopping bag. So you
Well,
still have
they're a
both
piece
hands.
of art.
Well, thank you. We kind
do
of think of them that way.
I think so.
That's the reason we hate to get into mass production. They're little pieces of
And on a
artwork.
good day, how many purses can you whip out?
I could probably do.
2 or 3.
Carolyn she makes about 3 times as many as
2 or
I
3.
do.
Really?
But we do them.
This is a faster sister.
Well,
She is.
not really.
She's a worker. She
I
stays
don't.
with
Marilyn's
things.
more involved than I am. I'm.
I
pretty much at home.
digress when I'm.
But you can do 3.
Well, I do 5 or 6 at a time, and it takes me maybe 3 days to do
Okay,
those
well.
because there are different steps.
Okay.
that-
And if I got up, I could do 3 in a day if I really stuck with it.
Well, the point is that it's not so easy as it may look to whip these things up.
Well, it really isn't.
So because
and-
the other thing is that they all have lining in them.
Right.
Sometimes the lining's
Exactly.
different color, but sometimes this I have to. This lining
With a
is
hot pink.
absolutely
The hot pink.
gorgeous.
We sell a lot of pink. A lot of people want, they have friends fighting cancer. In fact, we have a story about a woman. I have to have that black one. It's a pink rose. I have a friend that's fighting breast cancer, and I tell her she's coming out of this smelling like a rose, and I have to have the
got
one
that
with the
for her.
rose.
That's nice.
So we get a lot of stories with our handbags.
And if you well, the other thing is that you don't always have the same patterns.
No, we
oh
don't.
no, we don't.
So if I say to you, what is the most popular one you've ever made?
Zebra.
The zebra.
The zebra. Well, and you have, well, you've got 2 zebras down there.
And probably next would be, we sell a lot of black
Black.
with red, or black with pink, or black with yellow.
See, that's the other thing I noticed, that you have one blue one. I mean, you have a lot of bags here. You have one blue one, one light green one, and the others are either black or brown,
darker colors.
darker colors.
Right.
So
People tend to like darker colors. We've done light things, and they just don't sell. I actually made burlap. Burlap they're using in
Really?
decorating a lot, and I thought
Those
"Ooh,
didn't go anywhere?"
Maybe a burlap bag, and I thought they'd do real well for summer with big cream-colored flowers.
no.
But they really don't. The light ones just don't do as well.
Do you think people like a bag that they can carry all year round?
Oh,
Do you think that?
definitely. Or one they don't have to change out.
Well, because every time you change, you leave something
You do,
out
you do.
that you need
Exactly.
desperately.
Exactly.
Now we've been at shows, and when they're trying to choose a color, Marilyn will suggest something that goes with your hair color, you know, because not all the time, but most people have that same hair color, you know.
Well,
and
sometimes.
so
we
but
had
they
one
may
like
change.
this with sort of an auburn flower, and
yes,
we
we
sold
sold-
that to a lot of redheads or people with red hair. It's like, oh my goodness, that's just like your hair. That's a perfect bag for you. It matches your hair.
And they don't always think about that.
No,
I
they
don't think they
don't.
do. I don't think we do. We had a gray pinstripe, people with pretty silver hair. That was a good bag for
Well,
them.
sometimes the best salesperson is a consultant.
Well, that's true.
True.
But, yeah.
That's true. Well, we try and, a lot of
Now, I know you're going to have a show pretty soon. When is your show?
When is the next one? We have August the 14th is St. Mark's United Methodist Church, and that's 6422 Santa Fe and Overland
That's
Park.
August the 14th. It's
August the
St. Mark's
14th.
Methodist.
Friends of Recovery.
Okay.
So it's kind of for that. And then the Gift Gallery at Cura Fires Catholic Church on November the 13th.
November the 13th.
And then we've applied for the Kappa Kappa Gamma Holiday Home Tour and Show. at the Homestead Country Club.
However, if a person wants to order a Wear a Flower, they can do that because they can call either one of the two of you, and we have the telephone numbers, and you invite them to
We'll
call.
tell them where we're going to have the next show, or
and then they're always available at a little shop in Independence called Elizabeth Henry's. That's kind of our
Is it around
outlet.
the square?
It's just a door or two off the square. Elizabeth Henry's. It's on Lexington.
Okay, Independence, they can always get
Independence,
one. But
they can always.
They can call you if they need to, and you will point them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
That's right.
We'd love to
That's
do
right.
that.
Now, I know that you have a guest book on your website, and you invite people to talk to you about Wear a Flower, and what kind of comments do you get? What comes in there?
We get lots of comments back, and not only there, but just stories that come back to us.
Let's talk about some of the interesting stories or comments that you've had.
Well, I know you talked to someone at a hotel in Memphis, wasn't it? Where they have the ducks, the Peabody Hotel.
The Peabody.
At the Peabody Hotel.
And then a lady there in the gift shop, and then she responded to you, and she was going to have one for her own personal. And
but we have we just received a picture here a few months ago, and it was a lady in the New York City Easter Parade, and she had called, and I don't know how she found out about us. She wanted navy with a peony. Her mother's favorite flower was peony, and she wanted a pink one. She's very specific. She was going to be in the Easter Parade. And she sent us a picture with her big hat and carrying our bag.
Happy Easter from the New York City Easter Parade. And there she was.
Probably one of the most touching stories is a lady brought in jeans one time. And we make denim purses. We don't have any with us today, but we recycle denim, go to wherever we can find used denim. But she brought in a specific pair of jeans, and she said, would you make a handbag out of these jeans? And they were from her son, who had been killed in a car wreck at KU. Gosh. And she wanted a handbag for his sister. So I said, all the time I was working on that, I felt like I was doing something sacred. So that was a very special handbag. But,
it is special.
People buy them for friends that are going through difficult times.
A lady had a friend that just lost a job, one of the shows we were in. And she said, I need to buy my friend one. She just lost her job, you know. And maybe she can carry it with her to the next interview, and, you know.
But we get a lot of stories. Right offhand, I can't think.
But, you know, your business, it's kind of interesting because it's become a very personal thing. You really do touch the people who carry Wear Flowers.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
After the article came out in the paper, the first of the month, there was a lady came by my house to look at the bags, and she sat and visited with me a while, and she said, you know, you're really selling a lot more here than these bags. And just thinking about the story, the feel good, I think our website says a company dedicated to making the world a more beautiful, thoughtful place, one thought, one person at a time. And truly, if everyone we meet, if we can just make them feel like that, you know, make them feel good. Marilyn, when her girls were in high school, she had a class at her home for some of the students, and it was just teaching them how to feel good about themselves. And I think that's...
But when you look at that flower, it's hard not to feel good.
Well, we hope it lifts your spirits.
We hope so.
It does.
We hope so.
And that's what our business is all about. If we were just cranking out purses and selling them,
and never meeting the people,
we wouldn't be doing that.
But that's what a small business is all about.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly.
And I think that sometimes we have lost sight of small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Because it's really difficult. You have to find a niche like Wear a Flower.
Right.
And you have to have something that you don't see anywhere else.
Exactly.
Because you don't see these
Something
anywhere.
personal to us.
That's right.
With meaning.
But it comes through that it is something personal to you.
And I don't think we wouldn't be in this if we were doing it for the money. You really don't make that kind of money. A big part of our satisfaction is,
All you know how to do is work.
that's
ladies.
right, that keeps us busy, and we're happy working.
Well, actually, it's kind of relaxing to me. When my girls were small, 40 years ago, I would make their clothes, and I worked at a bank. I worked at a bank for 41 years before I retired, and I would come home and sew and make their clothes after they went to bed at night, and it was just kind of a way to unwind. And we each made our girls' wedding dresses and the attendance dresses, and Mother used to make our clothes. Grandma would go to town on Thursday and bring some fabric home and lay it on the bed and cut it out and have a new dress to wear Sunday morning to church.
So we're from a long line of seamstresses.
Who taught you how to sew? Your mother?
Just watching Mother.
Our mother. And I never did, I didn't even start sewing till after I was married, and I would tackle anything, and I always thought, oh, if I mess it up, I'll take it to Mother and she'll fix it. So I would tackle anything.
After my husband and I were married, we lived in Grand Junction, Colorado for 2 years, and there was a fabric store there having a contest, make it yourself with wool. Well, I missed all of my family, and a way of relaxing, I thought, I'm going to enter this, and I did, and I won first place there in Grand Junction, won a trip to Denver, got third place there, so.
Yeah, but that's nice.
I mean,
It really
it's
is
just
nice.
always been a relaxing.
It is nice.
And when I
thing
get
for
away
me
from
to do.
sewing and then go back to it, I always think, oh, I'd forgotten how much I like to sew. It's just it's a creative outlet.
Whose idea was it to put the little bows on the top? I think those are so cute.
Marilyn did.
Well, they're actually a cover. Well, that's the way we put the handles together, and we sort of have to cover up where we connect the
But
handles.
now,
so
see, I never would have thought that.
I shouldn't have told that, should I?
No. That was a secret.
We had to do something there.
So where is Wear a Flower going? What are you going to do? Where's your future?
It's growing.
It's
It's growing, and we're not sure because I told my daughter the other day it's going to be something the next generation is going to have to be interested in.
Do you have children that want to make bags?
we each have 2 daughters. I don't know that they want to make bags.
No, but
Do they sew?
they're interested in finding.
Mine don't.
My one daughter looked on the internet for fabrics and flowers, and she's interested. She and her husband were in retail for a few years, and she'd love to get back into a shop again, but she has 3 wonderful little boys.
It's hard to do. It's hard to do.
And
has
I
your
keep
business
telling her,
increased, what, 10% a year, 20% a year?
Oh my goodness.
Does it move that fast?
3 years. We've been in, we'll be starting our 4th year in October. So
How have we increased? We sell all we can make.
and we do.
We always sell all we can make. After
boy, that
the
is
holidays
something
last
good to
year, we
say.
were like just empty. It's like, oh my goodness, we need to sew
You never have
But
an
January
annual
and
sale?
February and March are great months
well,
to
yeah.
sell.
to stock up.
That's true. That's true.
And we do shows around. We were in a garden show in Florida.
And you did that green
And
number.
did the little green.
I think that's wonderful.
We just really haven't pursued anything. Everything kind of comes to us.
Well, I guess we would be correct to say that when I say, how does your garden grow, you can say the flowers, they are a-blooming.
There you go.
And so
right.
I have to say
That's
thank
right,
you to
Mary.
Marilyn Ware and Carolyn Bowles. Wear a Flower. And
Thank you.
they put it the best. They said, we all need a little flower power to brighten someone's day, to put a little sunshine in your corner of the world. So wear a flower.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for inviting
Thank you,
us.
Mary.
It's been
fun.
wonderful to have you. It's our community, and I'm Mary Davidson. Come again soon. Bye.